Hello folks and welcome to another day of Eastern European DPC as we get into the middle of things now, about halfway through Tour 3 as we head towards the Barley Major and of course TI, joined by Waga yet again for our first series of the day, which is going to be Team Spirit against Nemiga.
Yeah, we got Nemiga here and Team Spirit who have, looked a little bit sleepy perhaps in some of their first matches, but they're waking up more and more every series that we see, or we're going to see them perform even stronger here than they did in their last series. So far, Spirit have gone the distance in every single series, right? They're losing one game, but they're still taking the W in the end. Nemiga, I think we've seen them play, at times really fantastic and at times a little bit less impressive. But if they play at their best, I definitely think that they can take this series here against Team Spirit, though Spirit should be more likely winners. But I really haven't been... inspired confidence by the way Spirit has played so far, that they're here to just dominate everything, seeing as they go the distance in every series so far.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they need a game and a half to kind of wake up and get into things, because we had game 1 stomp against them, then game 2 they're kind of getting into the groove, then game 3 they stomped their opponents. They need that full series to really get into the rhythm of playing Dota 2, and maybe kind of figuring things out after the end of the major. They didn't play any competitive games obviously until halfway through Div 1 started. For a lot of other teams, they were already playing a bunch of series, figuring out drafts, watching all of the other teams really get things going. But yeah, currently Team Spirit 2-0, like you said, they've won both of their series. Nemiga 2-2, having played 4 already. And Nemiga looking to try and, steal that third spot, or at the very least stay in Div 1. As we can head ourselves into Game 1. The draft already opening up in front of us.
Yeah, and, in classic Eastern European fashion, we see again here the Doombringer stand out in the first phase. The Storm and Bloodseeker are also taken out, and Techies gets banned. So all these very highly rated heroes. I'm not too surprised by the priorities here. It does slip through some stuff though. We have Medusa unbanned, we have Caudal, Spiritbreaker, another hero that obviously is powerful, and Beastmaster is available here as well.
Yeah, is that Caudal TB? Undying's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Spiritbreaker we've seen, he's looked very good, especially when you're partnering the Spiritbreaker with, your Scareth Mage or these position 4s that offer a lot of damage.
Yeah, Spiritbreaker deals with a lot of things really well too, and if you're playing against Team Spirit, I think it's a smart choice, because Yatro likes to play as Juggernaut, for instance. Spiritbreaker is a great hero to have against that. He can't reliably split push with his Blade Fury to survive anytime. You can always get bashed, you can get ultied. Spiritbreaker can prevent that sort of pressure that comes from the Jug pick. And this is really already looking a bit deeper into the draft, but you have to do that when you play against a team like Team Spirit here.
Man, my brain is hard programmed, Castle Lacoste for like 7 years. When you said it's important to pick Spiritbreaker against Team Spirit, I'm thinking, here comes the punchline. You break their spirits with a Spiritbreaker.
I'm a bit too serious compared to Lacoste. Lacoste, he thinks in memes, I think in serious ways, yes.
5 seconds.
He's there to balance out some of the seriousness sometimes,
Well, Monkey King, what are we going to see next? The Enchantress, Crystal Maiden, what's coming out? Oh, the Oracle.
Okay. Oracle, a hero that is probably stronger than some teams let on right now, and it's also a great reaction here to Spiritbreaker. You get yourself Dispel, which one of the best things you can have against Spiritbreaker is having a Dispel to remove the fact that he has so much status resistance, his extra speed. It makes him completely uncontrollable some games. So already securing that, and you get a nice little potential safe lane combo here if you want. The Oracle can hold people in place. Monkey King can carry really well if it's an offlane Spiritbreaker. He does well in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Oracle when he hits level 3 is no joke in the lane. That Purifying Flames at 2, you just burst people down. Alongside Monkey King offering a lot of damage. So a couple of chaotic, quick off-the-mark heroes here, Spiritbreaker and Pango, indicating to me that Nemiga are looking for that laning phase transition into mid-game where they're just constantly brawling.
Yeah, looks like they want to have high tempo. I wonder if this is, setting up a high tempo draft to then have a hyper carry who wants to sit back and farm, or if it's going to be an all-in type early aggression style gameplay. That we'll have to wait and see a little bit, but I think they have to find a solution to their offlane though, as they're now, already showing that Spiritbreaker most likely has to be on the off lane since Pango is picked up. You're not doing any shenanigans with like a mid Spirit Breaker, so he's not going to be a +3 or 4. And you need a hero that can match up against Monkey King. Could see them go for something like a Visage offlane together with a Spirit Breaker, put a +3 Visage. That would match pretty well against Monkey King, but it really comes down to how they want to run it though.
Yeah, then still got to figure out that safe lane as well. Now, you were mentioning there's still Keeper of the Light in there, still Terrorblade out there. Venomancer has been this hero that's been on the rise recently. But I'm also looking at the fact that Pugna's not banned, has been a specialist hero for this region for sure. He could come into play as well.
Yeah, Pugna is very popular due to his strong lane harassment, but usually it's also about having some farmer here to steroid up. You could take like Pugna plus Medusa in this game, and you suddenly have yourself a hero that can heal up the Medusa's mana pool. Very, very effective at healing her, but there's no Storm, right? And that's usually the #1 hero we look towards for Pugna. So maybe he's gonna go by untouched in this game. Nemiga setting up their mid a little bit here. It's very likely just going to be that Pango in the mid lane, and they are banning out heroes that Pango struggles against. The Puck, the Void Spirit last hits really well against the Pango, and Puck, that ulti is great for controlling him.
Yeah, very true. Where's Beastmaster though? Hey, is he gonna slip through this ban phase, or is that a hero that you're saying Pango is maybe a bit afraid of?
He could be coming in, yeah. He could be coming in. Definitely enjoy the combination of having Beastmaster and then some damage to deal with the Pango. But since you have Monkey King here on Team Spirit, and quite possibly that's going to be a carry Monkey King when you see a Spirit Breaker as well, it's less likely for me that you go for Beastmaster because you want a range damage dealer to kill the Pango during his role. That's where Terrorblade combination is really strong, but they're gonna ban out the beast anyway on Nemiga, recognizing that even just the vision he provides is very powerful. Can signal that you're getting charged or getting ganked. If Nemiga are coming in, like we're saying here, with this hot and heavy, gank focused draft, then vision can be extremely important.
Yeah, and the Medusa you mentioned. There's always this kind of weirdness with vision, right? You're always, I don't know, I always think about it, I think it's a very kind of linear standard way to think about it, where you can see the enemies and that allows you to play aggressively, get the jump on people. But vision also lets you play fog more effectively with your heroes like Oracle, where you see people moving in the trees, you know what angles of attack there are. Oracle has a much better time just sitting in a pocket and waiting for his moment to save his allies. As Ember Spirit comes up for Team Spirit, so going to be Lal's hero, it looks like. A hero that is pretty good with the chains against this Spirit Breaker Pango.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard counter pick against the Pango. It's one of the best heroes on mid lane against Pango. There are better heroes, of course, some cheesy picks that you come out with. Pango doesn't do too well against the Huskar suddenly, but then it's much more all in, even though they would have Huskar Oracle combo, and that would be very potent in itself. But Ember, he destroys Pango. That matchup is not easy to play at all. I've got a lot of experience in dealing with Pangos as Ember, and it just feels unfair, honestly. A Sleight of Fist does really well. You should skip Flame Guard on that lane if you ever play it yourself. It's super strong to just max QW.
Yeah, just go for that Orb Corrosion, slight spam. Yeah, chain's always fun to land as well. Now, double pick for Nemiga. You mentioned that it's very likely we've got Pango mid, Spirit Breaker off lane. Do you want to show part of your safe lane here? Like, what's the plan in going forward?
You already got countered kind of on mid and off lane, so I think you have to commit here to showing support on your safe lane and show your entire off lane, because there's already Monkey King and Oracle. I think you're better off trying to protect and get a good carry-to-carry matchup at least. Sorry.
I'll see what they do. They're taking a long old time here, like Scarith Mage and the Magnus. Quick snap double pick up there for them. And the Sky Spirit Breaker, something that we've... Wait, hang on a second. Is this then going to be Magnus offlane, Sky and Spirit Breaker both your support? So Sky 5? Or is it Spirit Breaker 5 and we want like a ranged carry?
There are many ways you can do it.
There are lots of ways, right?
This can be carry Magnus as well.
True.
So yeah, there are many ways. I would say with what they're doing, I would prefer if they are running Skywrath, probably Skywrath Magnus offlane and then Spirit Breaker 5 together with a carry is what I, or Skywrath 5 and go with the Spirit Breaker Magnus. But I don't think I like the idea of showing Magnus as a carry here, because you're already at risk. Like, your 2 other cores got hard countered, now you give yourself a chance to have the offlane hero counter your carry hero as well, if that's indeed what's going to happen here. But a lot of teams do like running carry Magnus right now. Spirit, they're going to show it though. They pick up a Batrider for themselves. So what looks most likely to us to be the 3rd core here, as of course Monkey King could be played support. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not fantastic against Spirit Breaker being able to charge you. It would allow them to set up a bit though.
As could the bat though, right? We saw Mira play this position 4 bat, and it's been reasonably popular over the past couple of months. Definitely flexibility there for them. But yeah, as soon as that Sky Magnus pick, my brain just went, wait, this is very heavily flexible, but how do Nemiga want to do it?
Yeah, no, it's a great point that you make about the Batrider, because we also seen Nemiga here banning out Axe continuously here, so they expect it to be a support, and that's very likely possibility here that that's just going to be the way they play it, since Mira enjoys it. But that's the power as well, Flex, right? You can do it one way or the other. I suppose I haven't seen Collapse play Batrider that much, so maybe they are looking for his hero still.
It definitely could be. So, if it is the Spirit Breaker 5, do you need a ranged carry to go along with it?
Team Spirits, turn
kind of, yes. It's not fantastic to have a melee carry pairing up with it. It would suit better. But there are so many ways they can lane this. There are so many ideas that they can do, between having carry Magnus, not having carry Magnus, offlane Spirit Breaker, support Spirit Breaker, so many ways. So really a little bit worried for Nemiga how they're going to end up here. I think Spirit's draft looks easier to execute, especially since you have that foundation of the mid lane right now. Ember versus Pango, good matchup. That puts pressure on your supports to help mid more, do something to offset that. Control runes, definitely check out those 6-minute runes and, try and protect your Pango and make sure Ember doesn't get power rune advantage as well.
What if they put Pango off lane?
Yeah, Pango off lane into Monkey King,
gonna die.
Yeah, that's also not the easiest. So it's gonna be Morphling for them. That is the ranged carry there. So they could do what I said then. Put the carry Morphling, Spirit Breaker pos 5, and then a Sky Magnus lane. It's not too bad. Definitely playable.
10 seconds remaining.
Last pick for Team Spirit. Let's see what it is. Collapse Hero, probably.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll find out in a couple of seconds. When you're with this Bat Rider, you can just offer so much harassment. Dragging waves, messing with equilibrium. Morphling, first couple of levels, could be a little scared, but he's one of these self-sustaining carries in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, he is. Also makes sense now that they ban out the Axe even more so. Obviously, Collapse likes it, but if you're playing Morphling, you don't want to play into that Blade Mail Axe calling you. It's a very surefire way to get bursted. But yeah, there's some lockdown on Team Spirit, but not amazing. Morphling should be pretty happy in this game, I think, overall. Now, Team Spirit taking their time here, trying to find exactly what counter. I mean, a lot of offlane heroes are banned, but a lot of good options here are removed.
Yeah, quite a lot of his hero pool is gone. Like, I'm looking through and thinking, Underlord, Darkseer are the 2 big ones that are left in the pool. Not sure how well they fit here.
Underlord works. Darkseer, I think, is tough.
Oh,
Willow? This is offlane Willow?
Offlane Bat?
Offlane Bat, yeah.
Yeah, because Willow is a mirror specialist hero.
Yeah. I was just curious because we've seen some heroes experiment with, or some players experiment with the offlane Willow lately in the high-level scene. Willow getting some attention, it's people just trying out stuff with universal heroes in general. She is universal as well. But
when she packs a punch, there's Dragonlance into attack speed build off that Shadow Realm is pretty sick.
You kind of did give them Morphling Willow combo on your last pick though.
True.
Like, yeah, you get some good stunts. Willow has fantastic control and has a lot of magic damage, but Morphling, he didn't have a great target to turn into on the side of Team Spirit so far. Yeah, turning into Monkey King is pretty damn good. But other than that, there wasn't anything that appealing. Now, in late game, if he gets Aghanims, he can turn into Dark Willow, and that is terrifying. That just hurts so much. He goes Shadow Realm, turns back into Morphling, slaps you really fast. Yeah, this game could get scary in late game for Team Spirit, but they do have some good lanes.
Especially with that empowered Morphling. I mean, empowered Pango as well. We've seen how quickly he can dispatch with some of these squishier supports. Oracle and Willow are going to have to be pretty careful with their positioning when we come to those mid-game fights. Because they're going to be charged, jumped on with Rolling Thunder, RP'd up by this Vanzia Magnus. And you're always worried about just a Scarlet Mage Ancient Seal. It lasts so long, you're kind of removed from the fight and picked off pretty quickly. And Nemiga, I think, have a lot of tools here in their kit to be able to fight with Team Spirit. Definitely make things uncomfortable for them in Game 1. And like you've said during the draft, during the preamble to our series today, Spirit in Game 1 of their series so far have looked sloppy. Now, they've taken a game to warm up. Game 2 and 3 is really where they get into 5th gear and properly play. So if there's a chance, it's going to be this one. Before we get into Game 1, though, a quick message from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Prepare for battle.
And here we go, Game 1, everyone smoked up. A little wry smile there from Imposhka. Looks like he's getting himself prepared for some nonsense as they'll take on Nemiga in this best of 3. And Waga, are you leaning one way or the other if you ignored the team names and just looked at the drafts?
Just the drafts, yeah, I would have to say Team Spirit a little bit. The smoke collapse into each other here a little bit.
Spooky times.
Not going to be the most violent of connections here. Radiant had good vision, and they're going to back out, going for the sort of non-confrontational approach here. Fire did get a ward down. Yatoro rushed down with the Monkey King, of course, quickly getting that ward.
Yeah, and I like this Radiant Observer ward up near this Watcher. Very sneakily placed.
Sprays on the stairs always look so cursed.
Just warping and bending through space and time.
Yeah, it's even better when you put it on a tree or on a tower.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's got 4 chins. We're having a laugh about it. Yeah, lane sets up, as we'd expect, right? Magnus Sky up top. Morphling Spirit Breaker down bottom. Team Spirit not doing anything weird either. Yeah, just going to be sending their Monkey Oracle up towards that top lane.
Yeah.
That Rider Willow's a lane that I don't think I've seen too much, though.
Yeah, it's not the most common, I guess, violent. Nice sidestepping there, not getting hit by the Q. It is a double range lane, though, which allows them to do a lot of harassing here. They have the range advantage on the lane against the Morphling and Spirit Breaker, but Spirit Breaker past 5, he can still do quite a bit to just soak damage. Not really undying level, but on the other hand, he scales better out of laning stage as well. And Morphling, pretty strong of a laner himself. Just having really high lasted damage usually can be problematic. Big thing is, can they harass him enough to prevent his CSing? Already both of them going for him.
Flame Break level 1. Just put that pressure on. Early days. Similar story up at top. Scarlet Mage and Magnus spamming out their concussive shot. And Shockwave just to chip away at Yatoro. And Poshka standing nearby with a Blood Grenade and Fortune's End at level 1. And trying to maintain control of his camps as well. Has already blocked up the large camp with the Sentry. And the small camp is unblocked. So we'll have access to those pulls.
Yeah, pretty nice for him to be able to go back to that, especially when you're laning against the Sky and Magnus here. You don't want to get too close to the enemy tower overall. He's gonna go over and try and get his pull. Hellscream trying to stop it. Not gonna be able to. Just one of the little fell spirits get over there.
Yeah, the Ghost Camp. Not going to be able to kill off the majority of that creep wave. And it looks like Yatoro did a pretty good job keeping the Jingu stacks up. Got them going on Vanzia. Able to stand his ground against the Magnus. And Wave is going to trend back towards this Dire Tower.
Yeah, very aggressive play there. He pressured Magnus, made sure his CSing wasn't that easy. Now chasing after Miposhka here a little bit, but he's going to be just fine. Run high ground, salve himself up.
Yeah, even dispelling off the double slow. Pretty nice there. I wouldn't have thought of that. He just immediately Fortune's Ends himself. Gets rid of both slows. Down bottom, Mira taking a bit of a beating. Gonna have to burn through a lot of these tangos now. And it's Violent and So Bad, they both hit level 2. access to this charge and bash now available.
Yeah.
Or at least level 3 you want on Morphling as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you want to get all the levels possible for Morph, but overall, he just wants to be protected by his plus 5 as well, and so bad it's gonna take a lot of hate here. Gets grenaded, TP's out.
Good TP.
Yeah.
Goes back to Fountain. We'll have a charge in a couple of seconds, and we can even bring some items for the Morphling, if need be.
So Yatoro keeps finding these triggers on the Jingu, which of course allows him for some really easy last hits and nice.
And maybe even a kill on Hellscream, like 500 HP. Okay, he's got Fairy Fire and Stick, but...
Yeah, he's a 0 armor hero.
Yep.
Definitely can go down.
Mirror guarding the Lotus Pool from the Morphling. Standing off to the right-hand side, and a good flame break from Collapse to stop the charge. One of the reasons we've seen this Bat Rider so popular against the Spirit Breaker. Stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, it's always nice to have some reposition tools available, or some stuns at least that you can throw when you see him coming. But for now, I think they're doing a great job, by the way, pressuring Violent. His Morphling, 9 and 4. Well, sure, you're 9 and 8 on the Batrider as well. Pretty low CS count overall in bottom lane, but that's good. You'd rather have an underfarmed Batrider and an underfarmed Morphling than both of them having a lot of items.
Yeah, especially when you're comparing it, right? There's 9 and 5, compare it to the counterpart, Monkey King, who's 22 and 8. Mid lane, Laurel. Close to death.
Still.
Yeah,
Yes,
coming in. Bottle refill.
Should be fine. Has to time it.
Oh, it's not from Fountain. Just gets handed to Tango.
Yeah, Mira just TP'd to protect him. He knew the charge was coming, so that cancels the charge for Spirit Breaker. He's gonna run back.
Gave him a Lotus as well. Yeah, tons of heals for Laurel. But yeah, when you're comparing this Morphling, even the Magnus is the same as the Bat Rider. Team Spirit can be feeling very, very comfortable with this early laning stage. Both Monkey and Ember Spirit having great old times in their lanes.
Man, I'm impressed so far by Malrine, but also surprised by Laurel. He's skilling up the Flame Guard on this lane, and he's not doing too well. 25 and 5 versus 22 and 6 on the Pango, who has a few CS here to take still. The Pango is arguably, like, not winning, but he should be losing this lane hard, and that's not what we're seeing.
So by not losing, he is winning.
Yes, this is an unexpected outcome to me, by far. You picked the Ember into Pango because it's a really good matchup, and the Pango is actually ahead.
So is this an indication Laurel is looking later into the game with this Flame Guard build, or what? Increases farming speed?
I think this is just maybe unfamiliar with the matchup a little bit, perhaps.
Okay.
You know, and not because now he ends up not having maxed out Sleight of Fist. He's skilled 1 point Searing Chains because he needs Searing Chains against the Pango ulti. So his build is now not really streamlined. He can't Sleight of Fist as often as he wants. And yeah, I think even though it's tempting to have Flame Guard, it's a bait in this matchup.
Fair enough. And Malrine getting closer to that level 6. 30 seconds until the 6-minute runes as well. We'll see if we have movement from the supports to try and guard that. As it looks like Hellscream and Miposhka are starting to wander over. Miposhka holds his own. 1v2. Trying to protect his avenue down to that top rune spot. Chased out by Vazio and Hellscream though. Skewer, Shockwave, Blood Grenade, everything. And Miposhka still has Raindrop Stick charges.
It's a long chase.
To walk this off, it is. And they finally get the kill. First blood, bang on the mark of 6 minutes. And the rune taken by Malrine.
I mean, Pushka is just probably smiling all the way. He's like, space created, Yatoro is free farming. This is so far away from the top lane. You now have to run all the way back with Magnus. Like, yeah, he did go down, but he made them work for it so hard.
You needed 3 heroes to kill my Oracle.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
I mean, from Vasya's perspective, he chased that really long, and then he didn't get the kill because his Pango came in and said, hey, I want first blood.
Hey, give me the money. A bit of pressure onto Malrine, but pops the illusion rune to get out of that Fortune's End. And both mid laners level 6 now, so we could start seeing these movements from pretty maneuverable midders. Bottom, Collapse on top of Violent. Getting pushed back by the Adaptive Strike, but still moving over the top. With the Brambles down, Violent in an awful lot of trouble. 5 stacks of Napalm up. Collapse low, but fine to turn. Fight into so bad. I mean, Batrider, he's pretty tanky. 4 1 charges still to play with. Turns around and just defeats the Spirit Breaker.
That's such a sad moment to watch him just try to reach this Batrider, not gonna be able to do it. And Batrider, with that kill, gonna be very close to his Vanguard, so his tankiness is gonna increase. Also, as we saw them die there, they're not gonna be able to try and steal the Wisdom Rune, so 1-for-1 on the Wisdom Runes, as the top one was taken by Skywrath, meanwhile. And as it is current patch, current year, we have Ancient stacks being prepared. Sky, still working on the big camps and Ancients.
Lol going to cancel out the Rolling Thunder mid. Charge is coming his way, as well as the Skywrath Mage. They look towards the Oracle as the easier kill. Swashbuckle in and look to finish him off, but Fate's Edict there buys a bit of time as Lol gets taken down by So Bad. Pushed to the low ground, but Malrine hops and jumps over the terrain to get another kill in the mid lane.
And Ember's death, he had 3 remnants, but didn't place one early there. Gets charged and would have time to jump away if he had a safety remnant, but didn't place one, so dies with 200 mana and remnants fully available. So I feel like Laurel, so far, being outplayed a little bit here on the mid lane. And great rotation, though, for Nemiga. And I keep getting a good start here for the Tangle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I stopped looking at the Ember Spirit there and just focused on the Oracle because I thought Lol was fine.
He should have been, but
He looked okay.
I think even if he didn't place one ahead of time, he could maybe have gone away. Charge here.
On to Collapse. Adaptive Strike to start it off. He's very tanky with his Vanguard. They need Malrine to come in and join. And Collapse, chasing into So Bad, wants to trade his life. And won't be able to do that.
I see
Mirror
that.
nearby.
Orb of Corrosion and maxed out Q. Mid lane though, Hellscream was trying to pick up the experience, and Laurel comes in for the kill. Gonna bring down the one armor Skywrath. Doesn't stand too well against the max or level 3 Sleight of Fist and Orb of Corrosion. Definitely hurts.
That's pretty nasty stuff. It looks like the Radiant right now just making sure that all their camps are unblocked. There's nothing silly going on there. Dire with double observer wards in the area though. So Team Spirit, they see into this triangle. They know what's going on. They could look to contest it.
Team Spirit looks
Lol.
at the farm too.
Ooh. This time around, Remnants away. Chains to stop the charge. He's still looking at a lot of enemy heroes in the mid lane, and he goes very aggressive. They dispel off the Ancient Seal. Fate's Edict to tank him up against this magic damage burst. Lol with another Remnant up to high ground, but finished off by the physical damage of Malrine.
Yeah, those swashbuckles, they hurt a lot. Really going low. Charge to bottom lane again. We saw how tanky this Batrider is. They need more than just the 2 of them, I think, to get the kill.
Especially this time, Collapse not cancelling the charge with a flame break. And he will drag the wave away.
Yeah.
Pull into pull.
Just happily gonna get the creeps over here. Mira.
Malrine with another kill.
He's already on a mega kill, been involved in 6. Every single kill so far on Nemiga has been around this Pango. And he has a Swashbuckle, Diffusal, Orb of Corrosion combo now. So that's gonna absolutely destroy people. This early in the game, getting that mana burn value is massive too. If you Swashbuckle through someone, you know, you burn 200 mana, you get the extra hit. Go behind.
Let's just destroy them. It looks like Team Spirit want to try and safeguard Lol a little better. Standing in mid with 2 supports behind him, but look at Miposhka just get obliterated by Malrine.
Mira
a couple
too.
more hits going to finish him off. Mira in serious trouble. Just one more hero there would have destroyed them.
Yeah, but
Lol still getting charged up.
already kind of stopped the push with that. Laurel wants more though.
Inhibited by a Diffusal Blade and Monkey King. Yatoro deciding he wants to join in the fray. Bound the strike, jumping forward. Mirror dead to Malrine already. Yatoro gets the kill on the side, but Lol, he can't escape. He's dead.
Malrine is destroying them.
Couldn't Remnant away, and Malrine going wild in his mid lane. Gets a double kill. He's wicked sick. 7-0. Pango's popping off.
I mean, they're just underestimating this Diffusal Pango. Mira just stood there and died from a long distance to a single Swashbuckle, fully connecting on him, and that was it. You only have 3 armor. The heroes that they have on Dire, they all have to respect this Pango right now. I think it's time to start playing side lanes, trying to play around this Pango, not play right into it, because they kind of just went to him and allowed him to get online even more so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, especially when you're kind of waiting for this timing. Like, Relic is out for Yatoro, but he's gone for this drawn-out Radiant build. Needs a bit more space and time to finish it off. The rest of the team, like mid lane, Oracle just disappears. Mystic Flare and a Swashbuckle. He He dies very quickly.
This is the Malrine show now, with the power treads as well, and going for an Aghanim's rush here. He has aggressive intents, not going for any safety items really, just upping his damage even more, pulling the creeps. Look at the confidence, just farming the enemy big camp and mid wave at the same time here. Great stuff right now from him.
Nothing to stop him. He's playing under his own vision too, so he sees anybody coming. Hellscream presses forward onto the tier 1. Team Spirit, they're trying to make an effort down bottom. Collapse and Mirror down here, but look at who shows up. It's the boss, Malrine with the Rolling Thunder. Straight over the top of Collapse, allow the Morphling to get the damage in, and finish off the Batrider. Godlike Pango, 13 minutes in. Mirror standing there, still level 5, like, yeah, I can't really do anything against this guy.
This is right now feeling exactly like what we described before the series, though. Team Spirit just not looking like the beast we expect them to be. Nemiga here just handling them right now with what I would argue is a weaker draft. Like, I call that Ember had a favorable mid matchup, yet the Pango is 9-0-2 at 13 minutes, involved in every single kill. All eyes on Malrine right now. He is absolutely running the show.
Yeah, what is he? 3 grand ahead of the Ember Spirit? The majority of this net worth lead that's 5k right now. And it's all down to this Pango smashing it. And down at bottom, Mirror gets into the Shadow Realm, but Nether Strike and the Morphling's damage over the top of Collapse claims the life of the Bat. Radiance is up for the Monkey now. So is this a time where Team Spirit can look to fight? Or are their support still like, we want level 6, please?
I think you farm with that. I don't think you fight. This is too strong timing for Nemiga. Yeah, you have Radiance, but that's really it. You're going to go over and try and snag a Wisdom Rune here, maybe stack, but Malrine invading?
Oh, my Poshka. Even an RP.
Steals
Catching the
Wisdom.
Dark Willow. Grabs the Wisdom Rune and slices into the Dark Willow. Pango is just unstoppable right now.
Oh, are they gonna TP top? We have a theft coming in. Monkey King
The double
jumping
scan.
forward.
Malrine's already here. Come on then, Yatoro, show yourself. They ping it.
What?
They know where he is.
What?
They're gonna break the trees.
He didn't.
He's fallen down. He didn't jump. He's gonna die.
I think Yatoro was just flustered by what happened there. He saw the car coming, but he didn't move like a deer in headlights. He just stayed on his tree there. He could have jumped away. What? I'm so confused. How do you not jump away when you see the car being used coming towards you? Who do you think he's rolling for?
Yeah, just surely not. Surely he hasn't seen me. He's not coming for me. Nah. Lal getting charged and swashed again up in that top jungle. Nowhere is safe for Team Spirit right now. Everywhere they look, there are Radiant heroes running at them relentlessly.
That was a crazy
Lal right
play,
now,
though.
he's got a...
That was a really wild play to just go for the car there and actually find him.
Dire's middle tower is
That's
under
pretty good
attack.
stuff. I mean, Lal has a DD rune bottled right now. It could be something they use to fight, but this is the point where Nemiga just going to group up as 5, and we look at the odds. I don't think we've ever seen odds this favored against Team Spirit. 6.5 to 1.
For Spirit, 15 minutes into a game. Yeah. That's not what you would expect,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower is under attack.
somehow
It's the reality of things right now.
Nemiga are just absolutely the boss of this gym. They are having great timings coming up as well. They have the drums and face boots on the Spirit Breaker. He also got that faded brooch for some speed.
Oh, thank God. Miposhka, 16 minutes almost, cracks level 6. Now he can start playing the game, sitting behind his cores and saving them from some of this heavy aggression Nemiga are throwing at them, and they start off again with a charge into the middle. Lol, false promise stop, the RP catches Willow and sliced down immediately by the Pango. Miposhka getting crashed on by the Rolling Thunder. Another swashbuckle in, Nemiga clearing
Predators
house.
on the hunt.
Buyback out from Willow and a lasso there on the Pango. Going to drag Malrine up into Yatoro. A huge kill. Thousands of gold going the way of Spirit. Monumental victory for Spirit just off the back of 1 kill.
I think that might be the highest bounty I've seen this early on in a pro game, actually. What in the world? It's minute 16 and he just gave away over 1,600, or yeah, over 1,600 gold for 1 kill.
And 1,000 of that went to Lal. He just jumps up from like 6.9k to 7.9.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious me.
That was pretty wild, actually. Some pretty crazy amount of gold. But that was because of Collapse play. He chased him down with sticky napalm, kept spamming it on him, and finally killed him off there on the Pango. I think you can keep applying the sticky napalm stacks now while people are in BKB or in roll. So that's why you see him chasing after like that. It's a pretty big impact from the debuff immunity nerf.
That's a good point. I got a root now on the Spirit Breaker. So bad, popped his bulldoze, tried to get away, but the Wukongs comes out from Yatoro to secure the kill. And now we start looking towards BKBs. Lal and Yatoro closing in on that debuff immunity to try and protect themselves in these team fights. It looks like Lal up at top. If he gets tagged by an Ancient Seal here, could be in a bit of danger. Even with Miposhka standing behind him, that Rolling Thunder was gunning for them.
They have a great
Team
ward.
Spirit hold back. And they see forward. Right onto Vazia, who doesn't have RP yet. Tries to turn and fight with this Harpoon standing his ground and battling back, but Yatoro and Lal offering a lot of damage. They Mystic Flare down the Dark Willow at least. But Violent stepping pretty deep here into the ranks of Spirit. Lassoed up and killed off, and now the chase in towards Malrine. Let's see if they can kill him off a second time. Swashbuckle up in a second. Should be able to get back to high ground. As so bad, zones them out and probably gives his life, sacrifices himself to keep the Pango alive. But Team Spirit, they've warmed up now. They're fighting properly and getting kills.
Yeah, taking good engagement there under their own vision. That was really it. They waste the entire Rolling Thunder. And to keep taking the fight after you don't have Pango ulti anymore is a very dangerous proposal here for Nemiga. So Team Spirit definitely showing that they have some tools to work with and going into these fights with more confidence, as we're now seeing them get closer to those BKBs. Crucially important when you play against, I mean, the entire lineup of Nemiga pretty much. It's just very, very good to have against Skywrath, against Pango. It's crucial against even Spirit Breaker. It can be okay to, you know, give yourself that magic resistance from the BKB.
Just any form of protection. Keep these fights going as long as possible. That is something the Nemiga have to keep in their minds, you know, this RP, this Rolling Thunder, reasonably long cooldowns. Whereas Team Spirit, they can just keep on fighting. You know, not too worried about spending a lasso or a terrorizer or bedlam here or there.
Yeah, especially Octarine lasso, very low cooldown.
Alright, he's already got 2,000 gold saved up towards a Blink or a Boots of Travel.
I think he needs Blink in this game. Usually you go Travels, but I feel like the fact that he has Blink queued up now, I think he's going to save up for it too. He could have bought... No, he's going for Travels. Okay, feeling a bit confident then. Because Blink would be the more aggressive choice. He can actually lock down the Morphling or the Pango a little bit better. But I guess the Travels, they're going to try and play the map a little bit bigger.
Yeah, spread out wide. Join fights on the other side of the map if you need to. A little more efficiency in terms of gathering up your farm. Nemiga are down here though, ready to meet you. Lotus Pool, not a safe place to be, as Willow finds out.
Yeah, walks into Ancient Seal, and that could be Roche, honestly. At least attempt here. They got a kill, they have all the heroes nearby, and that's usually when you just transition. So straight into Roche for Nemiga here. And Spirit, they seem unfazed by it. They're just gonna keep farming, work on items. They have big timings coming out. BKB is flying out right now for Ember, and the Monkey King has his completed as well. So pretty good time for them to fight here as they hit the Travels and double BKB timing.
God, when all these lads are empowered up, they're doing like 300 damage a hit. Morph, Pango, and Magnus packing some serious punches.
Top tower is under
They're
attack.
soon going to have Pipe up on Vazia too, so a bit of protection there against that Batrider who has been causing a few problems with his magic damage.
Oh, they have Vision down bottom. They want to go fight under it.
They see Malrine and they've got him caught up inside the Wukongs. He rolls up and balls away for now, and Yatoro going to try and stand here and fight the Magnus as he's dragged in towards the golden statues. Skewers off to the right-hand side as Miposhka gets blown up by the Pango. Spirit Breaker in the middle of the circle and an RP on the bat to the right-hand side. This fight split 3 different ways, but Team Spirit using this chaos to their advantage, getting the Magnus kill. They didn't find the Pango or the Morphling, but that still feels okay. Pressing down to this bottom right-hand corner into Aegis.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty costly fight because you're fighting into Aegis. You didn't end up getting the Pango or the Morphling Aegis down there, and you expended both your 9-second BKBs, which normally you want to look for a really big fight with. They tried to burst the Pango at the start of the fight there with Monkey King going on him, but they didn't really have any follow-up. It's just just Monkey like stunning and ulting, and then Pango kind of rolled away.
That's a good point with the BKBs. Yeah, I was kind of looking at that thinking, you fight against Aegis, yeah, 3-for-2 trade, looked at the XP and gold change, and it was pretty even. And when you're taking a fight where you're behind against Aegis, I think going evenly seems okay, but yeah, spending BKB is definitely a downfall for Team Spirit there.
Yeah, it sets them back a little bit. I mean, people don't talk about it that much anymore because going down to 6 seconds instead of 9 is not a massive difference, but it does have a pretty substantial impact still if you can get a good fight or not with the first 9 seconds. This is such a long time.
Hellscream in position under his ward, and So Bad was looking for a charge, but Team Spirit transitioned up top rather than down to the right-hand side.
I like the itemization coming out here from Yatoro, going for the Radiance into BKB and then straight to Eye of Skadi. It's a great counter item for the Morphling in this game. Laurel, been scanned.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, a little bit scary on that right-hand side.
Dire's middle tower is
Kaya
under
in his
attack.
backpack. Batrider TPing in as well. Collab's gonna go for this. Gets the lasso onto Vazia. Slight chains on the Morph and Yatoro. Another BKB and a Wukong's out. Will get the kill on Magnus. Rolling Thunder. The Aghanim Scepter is up for Malrine, so spamming out the swashbuckles and crashing in. As So Bad will hold them back with a charge play, moving forward with the Morphling on toward Lull. Ember Spirit gets silenced up, but the turnaround from Spirit. Yatoro felt very strong to stand there and fight until the rest of Nemiga arrived. Dips back to his high ground. Quick little boundless strike to claim the Aegis, though. And Team Spirit, another 3-for-2. This is on the doorstep of their base again.
They're gonna steal. They're going for the Tormentor. I love this. Try and get something more. You can't really break high ground, but they identify that they can get something out of this. They can at least take Tormentor and then retreat. So they get the Shard here for Spirit Breaker, which can be pretty massive. You can even steal the Lasso in this game. If you're really lucky, you can try and planar pocket away the Lasso from a teammate to yourself.
Yeah, such a cool ability. And a really nice name as well. Big fan of the planar pocket. Arcane Rune for Malrine.
Yeah. And
Not top of the net worth anymore, but still very powerful.
yeah, he's having a fantastic game still. I mean, he died once. He's been involved in 23 kills out of 25. It is some pretty damn good kill participation here, and just a display of Pango performance. The fact that he has Aghanims and Shard already is very nice as well, and he's going for a Basher next. When you have that Aghanims, you want to get more procs, more things to happen. A random bash at the right time on an Ember can definitely secure a team fight.
Oh, it sure can. And we got ourselves the Magnus Shards. They took the second Tormentor. So it has that returning Boomerang Shockwave. And a smoke up out of Nemiga, heading through mid. Through the Ancients and down to bottom, it looks like. Collapse and Larl are down there. So Bad. He's going to show his face and start with a charge. He gets off his bulldoze, very tanky and annoying. So Bad lassoed up for now, but
that was a
the
short
status
lasso.
resistance there, a very short lasso. Larl trying to make a meal of this, does get the takedown eventually, but the cavalry has arrived. Both the Pango and Morphling chaining up onto that Mystic Flare, getting the kill on Collapse, and as Larl, he just scatters, runs for the hills.
So it's a support for a core, but at the same time, Yatoro is split pushing top. Gonna go for this tier 1 tower push a bit, and he's also going over to try and steal some Ancients, so it creeps here. So it was a good trade for Nemiga, but positionally still in a good spot here for Team Spirit.
Well, they saw him. I had an idea the monkey was up there. They come through the twin gate and cutting wave up top, letting Violent connect with them.
He's going for Aghanims next on Morphling. You know what that means. Dark Willow.
Oh, yes.
Could be a great target, but even if he uses it on something like Monkey King, he's going to take away a lot of his stats as well, so it's not terrible to use it on Agi heroes as well.
And what's the move for Spirit now? Is it just delay, try and get your next round of items?
I think so. I mean, they need the entire Eye of Skadi on Monkey. That's a really, really massive thing. Other than that, they don't really have an item timing that's close. They got the Blink Dagger on Batrider not too long ago. Kaya-san just up on the Ember Spirits. I think they don't have another Power Spike coming up for a while, so it's just Monkey King needing to finish up his Skadi.
I think they might not have this time. Violent just waveforms up to high ground, gets on the tier 3.
Oh,
Has a ton of backup.
Monkey's courier's dead for a minute. That's why he doesn't have his Ivescotty yet.
Oh.
He lost his courier before.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Violent managed to snipe it on Morphling.
We're back up from the tier 3 for now, and Team Spirit, they're coming out of their base. Heading down the mid lane, they've got one observer ward off to the side in this jungle, but they don't see up into the high ground near the outpost and the watchers. That's where Hellscream is waiting for his moment to strike. The Blink Scareth Mage. The bane of all these Team Spirit backline heroes.
I like that. He can sit back and wait for the RP a little bit, or sit back and, you know, still be in effective range to join. Collapse, charged.
Yeah, Mystic flared as well. Gets caught out in that little nook in the top lane. And a hero down with no buyback means a lane of barracks here for Nemiga.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Two-man smoke, Mira, Lol wrapping around from behind, placing wards down. Immediately spotted by Malrine, the two-man slide chains, and the BKB up for Ember Spirit. Aiming for Hellscream, but Morphling a Spirit Breaker. Getting through that BKB to control him up a little bit. He does get the kill on Hellscream at the least, and backs away with a safety remnant. They lost their ranged barracks.
Malrine at the same time, so no Dark Willow has buyback.
And now Wukong's up on the high ground. Waveform's ready for the Morphling, trying to shift into strength, but he's dead before he can get it off.
Oh boy. Underestimating
Interesting.
maybe? I'm not sure. I think he could have gone out there. Just a little bit of a misplay there, getting caught out.
Wait, someone's pinged a tier 3 token. So bad he sees goodies on the ground. Oh, a piece of candy. Go get it quickly. Yeah, wild push up high ground. Nemiga really itching for aggression. Gives Team Spirit a window to get back into this with Roshan up in a minute. His 10k lead doesn't feel, that massive.
No, it doesn't feel massive, but I don't think that Nemiga should feel too stressed to do what they did there, like going high ground in a situation where you're not relying on Aegis to push. Like, you should probably just take it a little bit slower still. Play around Aegis for high grounds. Going high ground without Aegis is so risky. And Team Spirit, they do have a potent defense still. Batrider is still very, very good. Monkey King Wukong still hurt a lot.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And you've also got to keep in your mind these reset tools for Team Spirit. The False Promise, even the Terrorize. Pretty
So
good
bad.
at swinging fights. So bad. Lotus Orb, Bulldoze. Gets stopped. The charge is cancelled by the Brambles. And Yatoro coming in to help out Lol. Mira in the end gets the kill with the Bedlam.
Yeah, looked like that would go to a Monkey King, but no. Nemiga though, they're moving down to bottom. They realize Roshan would be bottom soon, as he is indeed spawned. It's a very early spawn for Roche, and that's gonna favor Team Spirit here as they just got a nice pickoff. They're gonna see him heading to his pit.
Mr. Aegis and Cheese himself. He pops down to the bottom right corner. Looks like Collapse going to start things off. Sticky and Firefly. The rest of his team is wandering over, getting into the pit eventually. But this is a big smoke from Nemiga. 10 seconds for the Spirit Breaker to respawn, but they want to get into position and at least force Team Spirit to fight for this position.
They can't go for Roche like this. They have to wait. They have to go out and take the fight first.
Especially with his long wraparound. Look at them coming towards that staircase behind.
Spirit Breaker TPing. They see a TP. They want to go on him.
Yeah, it
He
does
cancelled.
cancel. Rolling Thunder Rain onto 3 with the shield crash. He basically destroys them all with one move, and Malrine already a double kill up. They've got the RP down, catching him out. Team Spirit inside the Wukong's trying to fight back into Violet's Morphling, but he stands there bullying and battering into the Monkey King while Lol jumped on silence. Team wiped. The diebacks from Imposhka and Lol, and Team Spirit made to pay.
That was just straight up dirty. They destroyed them that fight. The Pango got the cleanest connection that you can pretty much wish for there. Gets a massive swashbuckle, dealing so much damage, rolling through everything. The Magnus crashed through. By the time Spirit Breaker arrived, everyone was already dead. He didn't need to do anything. That was straight up just a 4v5 destruction right there.
It's like when we say, Pango wants to hunt in the backlines for this Oracle and the Dark Willow. The entire of Team Spirit was the backline.
Team Spirit were in a very, very tight, squeezed together spot, and they were found out, right? the Nemiga, they had a good reaction, good read, canceling that TP on Spirit Breaker. I think even if he completed it there, they were also bunched together and no chance for him to win.
Really glorious stuff. And now Aegis for the Morphling, Cheese for the Pango, and high ground being charged at again by Nemiga. They've got creeps in mid, but they want to head top. No tier 3 there, and a good little move. The Harpoon into Skewer. Ogre Seal Totem trying to get Mira out of danger. Yulls up the Morphling, but killed off in the end. Dead for 45, and Spirit Breaker going deep. Trying to catch out Miposhka, but Yatoro and Collapse, they jump in. The Wukong's out, Malrine and Violent getting rooted up. The Pango pops his cheese and he stays alive.
That's more resources used.
Back in again. They can't get the Skewer back. It's still on cooldown, but they've got enough damage to break through the Bat Rider. Now the Oracle gone. And Spirit, 3 heroes dead for quite some time. Probably going to be another lane of barracks mid as Nemiga shift all their efforts into that tier 3.
Not calling it, but they also have no way to defend here. They don't have Oracle, don't have Battle Rider for 40. Spirit Breaker cutting the bottom creep wave as well as Yatoro is trying to find whatever farm he can, but it doesn't really matter. He's not close to a key item. So bad is just keeping tabs on him.
Oh, Violent was thinking about it. If he had seen Lol there, would have gone straight in on him. And Vazia with another Harpoon Skewer drags Mira all the way across. BKB's up on the mag to get away from the Cursed Crown. And Violent just continues pummeling buildings. Lol. Yeah, doesn't go chasing. Magnus was pretty low, but Hellscream held position very nicely there on the staircase.
They can back out now. Nemiga have done so much damage and their bank accounts are overflowing with gold right now. They are so rich. 4.2k gold on this Skywrath, 3k gold on Magnus. They had massive amount of gold on Spearbreaker, so he has his Shadow Blade now as well. And a full Eye of Scotty for Morphling. I think Pango already purchased up the Lincolns as well, so there's just a ton of items rolling in because of all this, you know, winning the bottom team fight and then going and taking so many buildings. There's also a DD rune spawning, waiting for this pickup here. Morph DD rune could be a good way to seal the game. Probably gonna drop a bottle here and maybe he takes it for himself. Yeah, he's actually very strong himself, so he wants it.
He sure does. Yeah, that Morphling was so rich, he had choice paralysis. He's like, do I want Satanic? He queued it. Do I want Daedalus? Queued it. Oh, I can just buy a full Skadi. Let's freaking go for it.
Oh my god. He still has the Aegis on Morphling as well. They didn't even crack that in the last fight.
No, they didn't. Team Spirit,
Manta
4
dodged
heroes.
it. That was an RTC smoke dodge right there. Manta dodging the smoke.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
He did. Game is hard, he says.
Pop into the astral plane, disappear for a little bit. Yatoro getting crashed on, and the RP connecting on Miposhka. Oracle down, Wukong's out. Malrine jumps off to the right-hand side, aiming for Mira. They do lasso up the Magnus inside the Wukongs, but the rest of the team crumbling. And Malrine with the Cursed Crown and a bit of control. Lol and Yatoro on top of the Pango get the kill and hold their base. A fear from the Terrorized clips Violent. Morphling still has his Aegis for a minute, though. And So Bad was considering the deep dive in, but that's maybe baited Violent into an awkward spot, but he says, nah, I'm strong enough to waveform over the top of Collapse. Look for this kill, but Yatoro, he's got different ideas in mind. Harpoon and Skewered back in towards So Bad. Yatoro and Lol trying to stand and fight, but they're dead now. No chance remaining. The Ancients met, and GG is called.
GG is called. They couldn't really stand their ground as Yatoro was just overwhelmed. Too many heroes were on him. Magnus wailing at he can't handle all, but even though they brought down the Pangolier earlier there in that fight, it was still just way too much. And what a performance here, game 1 by Nemiga. Obviously, I have to give a huge shout out to their mid player, Malrine. He was destroying this game. He absolutely just carried the hell out of it. 17, 2, and 20, gonna be his final score. Fantastic job by his entire team, though, and Team Spirit. Again, Gareth, Nemiga, it sounds like the type of team that Team Spirit should destroy. That should be a 2-0, should be a pretty, one-sided game, but game 1, it was one-sided, but not the way you'd expect.
Yeah, game 1 going to them. I mean, looking back to laning stage, Pango has always been one of Lar's signature heroes. He started off playing on Team Spirit, playing Pango and DK like every game. So yeah, kind of surprising that he gets gets hurt so bad by this Pango in the mid lane, but
as he had counterpick, right? He picked into it. They said, okay, they have Pango, I want Ember. Give me Ember. And then he gets very handled here. I mean, the game was absurd. 5.7k net worth at minute 10 on Pango. Way more, 400 more even, than the Monkey King who is free farming. That's how you know you're having a fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean, the player cams at the end, Yatoro and Lol, they just look dead inside. They're like, this game, just forget about it. You know, go game 2, guys. This one didn't go particularly well. I mean, yeah, Team Spirit showed a couple of team fights where they kicked things off decently, but very well done by Nemiga. Pretty clean stuff. You know, spiraling out of that mid lane, bleeding into the side lanes, and looking solid in game 1. We'll find out, though, if they've awoken this beast. The same narrative's going to keep on going. The angry dragon in his cave, his Team Spirit. Game 2 and 3 have often been swinging the other way for them. We'll find out, though. A quick break and returning with the rest of the series.